Yeah, welcome back. This is M-Dog. Thought we'd do a little video here at Amber at 162.78 over here on the dock. One of the places that, you just kind of love to hate to fish. I saw a Russian, on the Russian site, someone posted using tiger nut mix. So I'm kind of trying this combination out here. Here's the PVA. It's basically just tiger nut and nut stuff. So this third rod, though, I actually have sort of, something a little different on there to try to see if we increase the bite rate a little bit. Currently, although this changes at this spot, there's a lot of different clips and directions you can cast here. I'm actually currently doing I am doing a 25 meter clip, and I'm really just casting more north than usual. Sometimes I feel like it's better over here, kind of at the numbers, a little more west of north, but right now I'm doing north. What's interesting about this spot, and don't mind the times, because what happened was I came out here, did some fishing, and then had to do some work stuff, so I went and repaired reels while I was away. But when I first came out here, first fish was a mirror trophy, so that was a good sign. But then you can see we've had some undersized commons, been a little frequent, unfortunately, and then the one rare. So I just got back out here, so that's the first fish since I've been back out here. But in about, a little less than an hour, only had 13 fish or whatever. So pretty slow, but hopefully that will change a little bit with me using corn instead of both double boilies. I do feel like we're also using 1/0 hook here, and then 2/0 hook on both of these. So these two are the ones that I feel like you're kind of sitting trophy on these. You got 2/0 hooks, two double 20 boilies. It feels like it's going to be a pretty slow bite rate, potentially, but possibly the trophy chance might be decent. I don't know. I'm just trying it. I want to go. There's supposedly a pretty decent sterlet spot on Tunguska. It's a well-known spot, but it seems to be pretty active right now, along with some cats and burbot and stuff coming in too. So I kind of wanted to go try that, but I wanted to get a little bit of time in at Amber first, just since carp fishing is my favorite, and I'm not sure. I've tried a lot of different spots lately on Amber. I do think that that this spot here on the dock, and maybe even more so than this spot, I've probably spent more time recently over here at the 180. Sorry, 168, whatever it is, 169. At this spot here, I've probably been here more lately, and have definitely caught some good fish here. But yeah, these two spots in some ways seem interchangeable. It's also fun because Amber is at a weird place in terms of baits. You can just about throw anything right now, I feel like, and get some results. At times you'll feel like fishy stuff is still king. Caviar baits have been big for so long now at Amber, it seems like, the last few weeks. But then last night had a lot of success on fruity stuff. Now I'm using nuts. I think we're kind of, at a point where a lot of different things are working and nothing has kind of come together and congealed where, everyone feels like, oh, this is definitely the best bait at the moment. I want to see if anybody, at least on the US server, we're right at the beginning of the week, so weekly records don't mean a thing right now. But we did get the first, over 25 kilo mirror for the day. But again, that'll change quickly. And you can see here, especially if you take mine into consideration. You've got 3 different baits. You've got fruity, fishy, and nutty. So I think if you look across, especially at the end of the week, if you look across baits, you are still seeing most of the weekly records coming in on caviar or mussels or oysters or combination of thereof. And maybe that's because that's what's best, but maybe it's also because I think a lot of people were just still using caviar. Some folks we've started to bounce off of caviar and try other stuff. I mean, I'm still using caviar some as well, but I'm definitely experimenting with more now, as it does feel like other things are starting to come on strong. So we'll see. And I didn't know what I knew I wanted to put on a corn with the boilie, but I didn't know what corn to put on with tiger nut, so I just went with natural. I've got a couple different natural artificial corns that we can try with it. Kept everything else the same as what we have going on the other 2 rods. But I will say, with the slower bite rate, even though I got that trophy pretty quick, and that's nice, in terms of like making good silver and having good XP and also just for fun, if it does slow down too much, like go back down to the small regular hook sizes, like just regular large 1 hooks or whatever, even go to size 16 boilies. I mean, I think there's definitely a sense in which if it gets too slow, you're going to be better off, even if the quality of fish isn't quite the same. You're just better off catching more fish. And that's where I'm starting to land on this spot right now. It was nice seeing the trophy and the rare. And I guess if you're like watching Netflix or doing something else, you can kind of sit on it waiting on the big fish. But if you're actively engaged, you would prefer a higher bite rate and all that. So we'll see. I mean, we'll keep this going for a few minutes here, get through the first part of this morning. If we're gonna have some decent bites, you would think this would be when it would be, sort of before it gets to be about noon. I definitely will not make you sit through, with this hook size and bait setup. This spot from noon till late afternoon is gonna be painfully slow. But the trophies are there. Some rares may be here. Red Starvis Carp Scaly. I'm not even sure that there's been many of those caught yet today. Again, I'm just looking at US server. I'm sure overall there's been plenty, but yeah, just 2 of them have been caught. That's funny. So earlier today when I caught, or like 2.5 hours ago or whatever, I was the only one that had a Red Starvis Carp Scaly. Maybe this, I don't know. It could just be random, but it looks like someone using that same bait combination also landed one. So maybe there's something to that. I don't know. I do know this. I am ready for chat to be fixed. This has been a great example of realizing that maybe you're taking something for granted. It is evident that I think just about everybody in the community just misses being able to see the fish that other people are catching in chat with you. And all of a sudden for that to be taken away, whether you're in a community chat like, the one that we have, or even if you're just hanging out in the chat of the area that you're fishing in, to sort of have that sense like, okay, these are the other fish that are being caught. It gives you helpful information sometimes, especially if you've got local chat on. So definitely ready for that to be fixed. had the most amazing dig a couple minutes ago before I started recording. I caught two of the larvae. I mean, I dug up two of the larvae on one dig, and then it had like one or more of everything else that you can dig. It was just like such a good dig. It's always nice when that happens. So let's see, in 10 minutes we've only got 3 fish, or almost 10 minutes. And this is during a time of day where we should be seeing a reasonable amount coming in. I think the other thing that I've noticed about amber lately is that just hour to hour or day to day in game, the results vary so much. It's kind of at that time where if you've got the time to just sit somewhere that you know is a pretty active spot for 4 or 5 hours, you're going to see so many peaks and valleys. Times where the bites pick up and the quality of fish is great, and then times where it just stalls, and you know, you wonder how much is weather related. It's very stable weather right now, so it feels like it's probably not weather related too much, but it's interesting. Yeah, this is real slow. If we don't catch a couple more fish before noon, I will probably just discard this video entirely. So if you're seeing this video, that means I'm going to catch a couple more fish in the next couple hours, so that's good. Even with the corn, it's not helping. You know what? Let's do something active here. Let's don't just sit back and wait for it. Let's make some changes and figure something out. All right, we're gonna back off to a regular size hook here. I'm gonna go back to boilies, but we're gonna go I need to get some of the smaller nut mix boilies. That's what I'd really like to try, but for now we'll just go like that. That's gonna drive those fish crazy. I can just feel it. A little smaller hook. One of the boilies is a little smaller. If it's salvageable, hopefully that will do it. But Tiger Nut 20, Nut Mix 20. Tiger Nut 20, Nut Mix 20. Is it worth waiting on though? That's the question. Tiger Nut, and more Tiger Nut. That was weird. Did not mean to do that. At least we're getting some good digging in. There we go. What are we up to now on our gold baits? All right, 121, 103. It's been a minute since I fished for sturgeon, so we're building back up a little bit. 48.76. Me taking like an hour here and there and fishing for the Donnet's rough at Winding has helped with those, and the crayfish tails back up to 41. And 80 mole crickets. Not bad. I'm actually at a pretty good place. All the digging does pay off eventually, I guess. Probably ought to scoop every once in a while, but I don't know. I just never feel like scooping. It's usually not worth it. About to pass 15,000 worms. That'll be exciting. All right, here goes our smaller boilie, smaller hook size. Pretty predictable that would get a bite going. Now let's see what the quality of fish is. Okay, it seems reasonable. So again, you know, put that on all 3 rods and you may end up making significantly more silver than just trying to sit on the big ones. Come on, give us a rare. Rare bait. Yeah. I like it. It's almost noon. Let's look at the overall mirrors for the week. It's going to be all caviar, isn't it? It's kind of just... It may just be better to use caviar, although I still just say so many people are using caviar. I gotta respect that double corn mirror albino there. Ooh, look at that. The double corn. Man, there's someone sitting on a big boilie. Tiger Nut 25. Once again. The smaller stuff. Probably should just switch them all, huh? It's common, I think. Then you're going to get on the 5 kilo common train, which is okay. Ooh, I like to see it. You know what's biting those really good right now are the Amur catfish at Tunguska, which I hope will be my next stop. I've said this before, but I really want to get one of those slingshots. Maybe one that, maybe both actually. Experiment with slinging, extra boilies out there to try to stir the fish up, or, your dry mix. Is that a thing, or is it ground bait? Maybe it's ground bait. Either way. There you go. Oh, I didn't have that friction brake. Yeah, it's not that big. Fake news. $120, $155 biting well, someone in chat just said. Welcome Thunder Chicken. Looks like he or she is new to the there's a decent mirror. I like to see that. New to our in-game chat. Welcome. Over 1,000 players now. That's great. Bear, no PVA. I do have the mesh basket, simple ground bait. So far, a couple of grass and one barbel. Nice. So 120, 155. I'm just trying to remember where that is. That's up. I think G3. I think it's up here past peg 2. All right, see if we can get one more fish, especially on either the first or second rod, and then we'll call it. Yeah, I mean, chance for rares, chance for trophies, it seems like, but probably a little slow on the bite rate to justify the time. Maybe the answer is just throw caviar still, I don't know. I should do a follow-up to this and, you know, sit here for 12 to 18 hours with caviar stuff in. Maybe I will. We haven't had a fish on the first line in a while. I thought there was also a bite coming in on the second line, but it may have been that the hook size scared away whatever it was. It's a fairly small fish as well. So it sounds like if tab is saying 120.55 using fruity, doing really well. Okay, this would probably be a good time to split it if I am going to do a part 2 with caviar. We'll see what this fish is and then we'll call it. I'll switch baits and maybe hit record again. We'll see. Another small comment, it looks like. All right. Hey, as always, thanks for watching. If work doesn't intrude or keep me from doing it, I'll try to do a follow-up caviar layout here and see if there's any significant difference. I'll see you soon. Thanks.